we don't have many places left where people who are different from each other are compelled to be together for any length of time. Like hospital emergency rooms, right? And classrooms, like buses, but once you earn a certain amount of money, you don't take the bus so much, or whatever it might be. Like the classroom's the only place left, I think, where we can purposefully learn from each other's differences. And if we don't do that, I don't know how we then all belong. Like I know that we can belong with people who are just like us, but I don't think that's a sufficient condition for citizenship. I don't think that's okay. And that's not for like some sort of ideological stance. That's just for like a basic human stance. Like Wade Davis is one of my big heroes, and he says that other people are not failed attempts at being you. Every culture is a unique answer to what does it mean to be human and alive. So if I take that as true, and I believe it is true, when I go into a classroom and I see people from 7 different countries, or from the same country but from 7 different ethnocultural groups, I see 7 different answers to a really pressing question, which is, what does it mean to be human and alive? And maybe it wasn't so pressing at a time when we couldn't, with our machinery and our population, change the climate, or kill people without ever seeing them. Maybe it wasn't so pressing then, but I think it's really pressing now that we get better answers to what does it mean to be human and alive, because increasingly it seems the predominant answer to what does it mean to be human and alive is to be dead. So we need those other answers, and I think the classroom is a place to cultivate them, and I don't know a better tool for doing that than story. So when you have 2 people come together and listen to a story, or a group of people listen to a story, in order for the story to be successful, the listener has to receive that story, and they see it. I like to think of it as, when I'm telling students a story, I like to imagine a space in between us, and that the story happens there. The story comes out of me and comes to them, and there's a place in the middle where my descriptions meet their imagination, where the characters in my head gain flesh and color and tone from their head, and the story is a co-creation between us. And if I'm living up to my art as a storyteller, I do everything I can to make sure that that space has both of us in it. And then when it's done, we've created something together. They've seen the world through my eyes, and I've somehow inhabited their space. If it's really effective, then they tell a story back, and I get to see the world through their eyes. So I think it's a deeply empathic connection that a story creates. And that, I think, is the thing that makes it unpredictable and generative, that makes it keep going. It's because there's a thrill in experiencing somebody else. There's a thrill in knowing what it feels like to live in someone else's skin. And then to discover that actually there's a lot, wow, there's a lot, like me too. Oh, wow. Yeah, me too. I think that's one of the particular powers of story, is, or maybe not the power of story, I think that's where story gets its power, from this sort of deep empathic connection where you see the world through someone else's eyes. Take 2 people who have no reason to be together. Tell them how you got your name and what your name means to you. And just wait. One of them is going to say something about their name, and then the other one will respond. And then talk to them about whatever it is that divides them. That's what story allows. It allows a little teensy toe dip into the pool of, is there something that we might have in common? is there something that, maybe there's something that we share. Maybe you aren't completely the other. Maybe there's some little middle spot in the Venn diagram called us. And then talk about what the other stuff, and you'll see that middle will start to open up.